Yeah, Guillaume, you might have to worry about this team. I mean, at least, yeah.
Well, I'm a little disappointed that David did not come up with it himself. So we'll see.
I didn't know he was going to actually do it. I just said, "Hey,
already."
Well,
you waited until we were live to do that. That was rough, man.
Well, like I said, I didn't know he was going to do it. I just said, "Hey, this would be an interesting team. You get 7 agents out there." I was like, I didn't know he was going to do it. I forgot about that.
I'm sure there, like with Scully, the Scully set, aren't there like probably a bunch of 7 agent combos you can roll with?
Pretty much, because they all cost like 3 or 1. So It's like the thing is the res. I remember I told yeah, the res shouldn't be too bad either, even though like half of them don't have res at all. But yeah.
Well,
and he's got the bureaucracy guys, so yeah, his res isn't going to be hurting at all.
If my bureau team stays consistent, I should be getting like a good 6 or 7 on a regular basis.
Do you have Skinner on there?
I do have Skinner and Blevins, yeah. Okay, let's do.
Go live, and we are live.
Okay, live.
Awesome.
We are live. This is Studio Squim. Hey, everybody, this is David, broadcasting from Studio Squim, and as I was talking about earlier, Studio Squim / my dining room. So, with that having been said, we've got a full crew here. Myself, Guillaume is here as my opponent, as you already know. Stephen and Nathan is here. Stephen on loan from MMS, X-Files, CCG. I can say that out loud now that Michael has said it too. He's broadcast that. And of course, Nathan, refresh my memory, Nathan, your channel.
Chasing the Dragon.
Chasing the Dragon, that's right. All very, very worthwhile channels. I suggest you go check it out, subscribe, and watch the videos, give them a like and that sort of thing. Lots of great material out there. So, as you know, Guillaume and I are playing with commercially released sets. That includes promo cards and Gen Con cards. Premier, Truth is Out There, Mulder, and we've added the Scully set in there too. We're trying to get that a lot of exposure. We want people to check that out. This is an exciting time to be a fan of the game with all the fan-made stuff coming out. Scully resurrected, and season 4 just on the cusp of being in everyone's little hands there. Gentlemen, anything you want to talk about before we get started, or should we just get right into it?
I think we should just get right into it. People came here to see a game. Let's give them a game.
All right. Yeah. Let's not waste any time. And there's been some talk about my team here because it barely fits on the camera. So I'm going to introduce my guys here. A few new ones via the Scully set. But to start out, I have Assistant Director Walter Skinner and Section Chief Scott Blevins there to start things.
Paper pushers.
Paper pushers. This is my administration deck version 2 here. Agent Jerry Lamanna, and of course, Detective Manners. For the new ones, I have Agent Bonacazzi. His game effect, this is a Scully set guy. His effect is place a token on Agent Bonacazzi. I'm assuming I'm pronouncing that right.
Bonacazzi.
Place a token on Agent Bonacazzi. At any time during the game, discard a token to force any agent to return to the Bureau immediately. This effect may not be used to interrupt combat. An agent moved in this manner may not contribute to any skill checks this turn. Not bad.
Yeah, and you can use that one during either your conspiracy round or as an investigating player. And this is interesting because you do have a team with Skinner. So that's possible we could see you using that during your investigation round because you'd want to get him back to the Bureau to get that benefit of the res. But at the same time, you could also use it to thwart Guillaume's investigation. So it's curious because you are working with a bureaucracy team there, how you're going to play that effect.
Yeah, stop giving David ideas.
Oh, sorry. Well, I'm sure he was already aware of that. But anyway, because David is a strategist of his own, in his own right. Anyway, David, who are the other two?
All right. So next is Agent Linda Kaleka. Kaleka?
Yep.
Okay. Her game effect: place 2 tokens on this card. Discard a token to draw 1 card from the top of your bureau deck for 0 cost or 0 RP cost at any time you are the active player. And to round it out, Agent Brian Fuller. When an agent is in Fuller's team is, oh, this is small, is forced to go to the hospital, Agent Fuller may immediately
You don't have to worry, David. You will not be using that effect tonight.
elect to escort the agent to the hospital. I remember we talked about this. This is kind of weak.
It's not happening.
I don't even understand it, so I'm not even going to finish it. And
so much for the master strategist label.
Well, I think we all agree it's kind of hokey, so we'll just let it slide.
It genuinely does not work with the commercially released cards at this point. So we are making that a more viable effect with some of our fan expansion cards. But again, we have looked at it hard and we've determined that there is absolutely no way using any of the Scully set cards along with the commercially released cards is Brian Fuller's effect going to be viable. So it's a throwaway effect, really.
Really?
Yeah, it does not work.
Well, I'm gonna have to look at that.
Yeah, so you may notice this is a lot of agents, 7. So just to make sure that I'm above board here, Skinner is 6, Blevins is 4, that makes 10. Lamanna is 3, and Manners is 2, that makes 15. Agent Bunna-Casey is 3, Linda is 1, and Brian are 1. So that makes 20 right on the nose.
The math is sound.
Let's move to my esteemed opponent, Guillaume. Introduce your team for us, sir.
Okay, so my team is way more usual than yours. So I'm using Agent Fox Mulder, Charles Burke, Mobox, and Hostin. No Scully agents tonight for me because I feel like after this is my 3rd week playing and I feel like I need to take a rest from trying to work out season 3 agents, well, Scully set agents into my team. So I went with Nellian and Occult Investigation tonight, which is not unseen, but it's unusual for me. Usually I rely on sciences and medical on my Scully team, so I went with Mulder tonight.
Let's note David's face right now. That is the face of a player whose deck has become halfway unplayable right now. As Guillaume reveals his team, and it has no sciences in it whatsoever.
We'll see how it plays out.
Let's go.
Yeah,
let's go. Nathan and Stephen, you are drafted as judges. I'm going to send you to the green room there so you can keep an eye on us. And Stephen is going to be building his deck for
I'll be watching, of course.
But he's definitely on staff. Gentlemen, I'll send you to the back. You know the international signal for stopping the game for a rules check.
Just keep your eye open for it.
Be wary of your virtual background. I may not see your hands moving. I'll keep an eye on it.
So noted.
Good luck, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Get a handle on this mouse here. There we go. That's more like it. All right, Guillaume. You know how it goes on Studio Squim. I've got this fine homemade token here. Back on camera. An X on one side and a US dime on the other. We'll use X as heads. You called it in the air, sir. Ready? 3, 2, 1, call it.
Heads.
Nope, it was tails. I'm actually going to choose to be a conspiracy this turn. So go ahead and start with your investigation. And I see we have at least one person watching, thanks for joining us here.
Okay. As usual, you can shuffle all you want, and it never comes out the way you want. Okay, so I'm going to draw my free card. I'm going to generate my res, which is, well, only 3 since Smolder cannot generate res. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to play hard evidence immediately. So I'm paying 2 to add 5 to my pool. Puts me at 11. And I'm going to use Smolder's 2 res to purchase 2 cards, and I will not be buying any more cards, I think.
All right. Let's see here. A little early to be doing something like this, but I'm going to sell Lieutenant Colonel Marcus Aurelius Belt for 2. Takes me up to 7. And I'm going to buy just 1 and turn back to you.
All right. So no healing. And for requisition, I'm going to pay 4 to place the hospital crash cart in the hospital. For deployment, I'm going to send everyone to the field. And for case assignment, you are going to go investigate Jerusalem, Ohio. I'm going to use one of Mulder's tokens to pay for the site. No, actually no. Well, Can I take that back?
Sure.
Thanks. So I'm going to play Los Angeles, California, and I'm going to use Box's token to pay for that one. So it's a multi-site. It's Occult Investigation 5+, or Evidence Collection 5+, and it's affiliation or method.
Affiliation or method.
And before you do anything, I'm going to use Austin's token to look at your hand, please.
Osteen's token to look at my hand. All right, here we go. First is Rejuvenating Caves.
Okay.
Deny Everything. Deadly Blur. Section Chief Scott Blevins. Dr. Blockhead. Pete Calcagney. And a site card, Olympic National Forest.
So, Deadly Blur. Okay. I'm going to use Austin's token on the Deadly Blur.
Deadly Blur. Okay.
Yeah.
And with that having been said, you know everything I have here, right? So Why not go with just the one bluff, please?
Okay, so I'm sending everyone to the site.
Okay, and can you refresh my memory who is contributing?
So I'm going to be using Occult Investigation 5+. I currently have... I have 9 currently. Mulder contributes 3, Burke 2, Hostin 4.
Oof. And who's your fourth agent, just so I can...
It's Agent Mobox. So he doesn't actually have Occult Investigation.
Okay.
Although he can pay for Occult Investigation cards.
All right. Oof. Well, even if I use this, I'm going to be hosed, right? What are we waiting for? I got a bluff there. Move the other guys.
Yeah.
Section Chief Joseph McGrath. I'm sure that takes you completely by surprise.
Absolutely.
But I think even if I take an agent out, you're still going to have enough.
Yes.
And I don't have anything else. To stop anything. Yeah, I'm not going to pay it. I'll just let it go.
Okay. So it's an affiliation or method question. I'm going to ask an affiliation question. Is your affiliation government?
It is not.
Okay. Well, that one is gone. Moving on to the briefing phase, I have 7 cards in my hand.
All right, I have 6, but now I have 5. I'm going to play Rejuvenating Caves for 2. Play this card next to your X file you have chosen. Place 10 tokens on this card beginning on your opponent's next turn. You may take up to 2 tokens from this card and place them in your resource or your conspiracy pool. The tokens become conspiracy tokens. When all counters have been removed, discard this card. So I'll put 10 on here very quickly.
Always a good card to have.
You know, it's a staple now.
Yeah.
There's 10. Yeah, and I have 5 now, so no discard from me.
Okay, sounds good. Passing it to you then.
Very good. We'll start by drawing my free. Where was this guy when I needed it? All right. Let's see. Res. Now, as Skinner is because he's in the bureau will generate a 3, and Blevins also because he's in the bureau he will bring me 2, so that's 5, 6, 7. 7 takes me up to 12. I'm going to buy 2. Takes me down to 10, and I'll turn to you to sell and buy for conspiracy.
Okay, so I'm going to sell the Trulux video camera for 5, satellite photos for 4, and the water PPK for 4. That's a total of 13. Puts me at 18. And I'm going to buy 6 cards.
Oof.
And passing it back to you.
All right. Next is healing. There's no one damage, so we can skip that. And next, after that, requisition. I won't be doing any requisition at this time. Deployment. I'm going to move these 5 guys to the field. We'll leave Skinner and Blevins there. And case assignment, we are going to be going to the Olympic National Forest in beautiful Washington State. This is evidence collection 4+ and a result question.
I'm going to play Jeopardizing the X-Files for 5. Puts me down to 7. Force one opponent to immediately discard their entire hand. Your opponent, at their option, may opt to pay 3 RP for each card they do not want to discard.
I'm sorry, your audio broke up a little bit on my end. Discard cards from my hand and pay 3 for any that I want to keep.
Yes, so you have to discard your entire hand and you pay 3 for any card. Yeah, any card that you want to keep.
So many good cards too. Let's see here. Well, Deadly Blur is an easy one to discard. I can let that go. Overcome Man's gone. This one I'm keeping here, so that's 3 right off the bat. Oof. Ouch. And it occurs to me, did I not pay for my site or did I? Do you remember?
I was looking at my cards, so I did not see. Well, let's see. How many res did you generate? I think you generated 7, and so you had 12. I think
12,
you paid
so
2.
yeah,
I
did. I paid 2. All right. Yeah, I'll keep 9. Well, I'll keep 3 for a total of 9.
All right.
Takes me down to 1. And then before we move any further, I'm going to play Unexpected Call.
Nice.
Cost 0. Play this card to allow you to exchange res pools with your opponent. I have 1 and you have 7. Do you have anything to block that?
I unfortunately don't. So 2 dick cards in one phase.
I can see Steven shaking his head too. That's he's the thumbs down. I'm actually pretty pleased with myself. I think that came at just the right time.
Actually, yes. That's the perfect counter to that Jeopardizing the X-Files card.
All right, so I'll move those are my discarded ones. Move my counter up to 7. And so we'll move on to a deployment. There. Fuller doesn't have anything to contribute. Well, I'll bring him up anyway. His combat is 2, so he may help out. All agents are going to the site. It is Evidence Collection 4 Plus. Lamana has 1. Bonacese has 2, so that's 3. Agent Kaleka has 1, so that's 4. And Manners has 1, so 5.
I have 1 bluff.
Shouldn't that have been played in case assignment?
Oh, sorry. I thought we had moved. Oh, sorry. Well, I'll take that back. I thought we were still in case assignment. Sorry.
No, I moved all my agents to the site.
Sure.
Any other cards before I complete my investigation?
No, you can. That was a true bluff because despite having all those cards, jeopardizing the X-Files was my only conspiracy card. So you're free to ask your question.
Wow. All right. This is a result question. So we'll start with, is your result death?
No, it's not.
All right. Well, let me finish up the round here and then I'll continue crossing everything off. I only have 2 cards, so no discard from my side.
So I have 9, so I'm going to discard Jerusalem, Ohio, and Rory, Creek and Son. And I now have 7 cards.
Very good. Then we'll turn to you to start your investigation.
I'm finishing crossing off your list as well. All right. Okay, so let me check that I have. Okay, 7. I'm drawing my free card. And I'm going to generate my raise, which is 3. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to play my second hard evidence, which came in handy. So paying 2 and adding 5. Puts me back to 7. And I am going to draw 2 cards. Yep, 2 cards. And passing it back to you.
All right. I'm going to start by taking my 2 tokens to add 2 from Rejuvenating Caves. Takes me to 6. And I am going to buy I'm just going to buy 1. And back to you, sir.
Okay, before we move to healing, I'm going to play Reading the Signs immediately. Play on any team in the field. If the team makes an occult investigation 4+ skill check, they may take 2 conspiracy points from their opponent's conspiracy pool and add them to their resource pool. So my team has, I think, 8 occult. And the card is free. Can you do something to negate it?
I cannot. I just have to sit here and take it.
Okay, so I'm adding 2 to my raise. And did you remove the 2 already?
I'm sorry, did I remove?
You have to remove 2 from your conspiracy pool, and I'm adding those 2 to my rest pool.
Got it.
Okay. So no healing, no requisition. For deployment, everyone stays in the field. For case assignment, we are going to go investigate a staple, Lake Okaboji. It's alien investigation 4+ and motive question. I'm going to use one of Mulder's tokens to pay for that site. And I'm waiting any bluffs that you may have. So again, alien investigation and motive.
1 bluff.
All right. So I'm sending the whole team to the site.
All right. The bluff is nasty surprise. Play to add 5 tokens to your conspiracy pool. Costs 3, but it was played upside down, so it costs 2. Takes me down to 1, and then I add 5. Come on now. There. And
I liked it better when you only had 3 CPs.
yeah, I've got nothing else to stop you on this.
Okay. So it's a motive question. Is your motive survival?
It is not.
Okay. So the site is gone. And before we move on to debriefing, I'm going to play travel plans for 2. Play this card in the field, search through your bureau deck and draw up to 2 side cards. Place the drawn side cards face down below this card. You may play the sides for 0 cost during your case assignment phase. And if this card is discarded, the sides are discarded as well. And that will give me a good... So I don't have to show you the sites, but there are sites. You will see them when I pull them out from on the travel plans. Okay. And that will be a good opportunity for me to shuffle my deck, since even though I've spent a lot of time shuffling it, I don't know how you do it, but like when I get my deck ready, I have piles for each type of cards, and then I'm putting 6 small piles and trying to put them in random order, and then I'm shuffling them together. So I should not be drawing like 3 or 4 equipments in a row, because I put them really separately in separate stacks and I shuffled them. So somehow they all shuffle back together. That's a mystery to me.
Just have to trust the universe on the randomization, I guess.
Okay, well, I hope this time this will be better. Okay. So I have 6 cards now, so I'm passing it to you.
The card you just played, did it say you play during your case assignment phase?
That card can be played at any time, but the sites underneath the site.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm playing the sites during my case assignment phase, but this one can be played at any time.
Gotcha. I scrambled the words that you were saying when you read it.
All right, all good for me.
Yeah, nothing from my end.
Well, you can
Start my investigation. All right.
Yes.
Draw my free card. Generate res. Because Skinner and Blevins are in the bureau. I'm still collecting 7 total, so that takes me to 14. And I'm going to buy 5. All right, and I'll turn to you to sell and buy.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to sell Wayne Morgan for 3, successful diagnosis for 2, and take cover for 2. That's a total of 7. Puts me at 14. And I'm going to buy 5 cards. I'm going to buy 6 cards.
Okay.
And back to you.
All right. Before we move on, I'm going to play a friend in the FBI for 2 and place 10 tokens. I'm a little shy on tokens. So I'm going to place these 2, 4, 5, and then I'll turn these upside down. 6, 7, 8. And I already took 2 off of there. So I'll just put these on there.
Did you put 10 tokens or 8 tokens?
I put 10. I took 2 off of my resource pool.
Well, if you want, you can just put 8 and add the 2 back to your resource pool if you like.
I'm going to do that. I do like.
Yeah, we usually do that.
Good idea. Glad I thought of it. And I'm also going to play improved channels. The team must make a bureaucracy 4+ skill check. If successful, you may now have up to 10 cards in your hand at the end of your turn. This condition stays in effect until you are forced to discard this card. Discard this card once one of your agents is moved from or to the bureau section of the table for any reason. So I'll just put those 2 right there.
There are a lot of good there are a lot of good cards that if you can make that bureaucracy skill check in the bureau, you can have great effects, and that one is a good one.
Yeah, that'll come in handy considering I have such trouble discarding at the end of the turn. All right, so now that is done, we'll move on to healing, and no one is damaged, so no healing will take place. Requisition, there won't be any requisition at this time. Deployment, I'm going to keep everyone where they are. These 5 in the field and 2 in the bureau. Case assignment, and this might take a second because I have come across a windfall here. Math. So hard. No, I'll just do one. We're going to go to Newark, New Jersey. This cost me 2. This is evidence collection 4+ and method question. I turn to you for any bluffs.
I have 1 bluff for that site.
All right. I'm going to send all of my agents to the site. Get everything kind of set up here. Let's see that bluff.
Okay, so the bluff is no one believes you. Play this card to add 1 to the site prerequisite number for each agent beyond 1 in the investigation team. So, if I'm not mistaken, you currently have 5 evidence collection, correct?
Just double checking here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to be paying. So the bluff costs 4, so 3 since it was face down. So since you have 5 agents, I'm adding 4 to the site prerequisite.
Don't think I have a witness that can take care of that for me. So I guess I will not make that investigation.
All right, so that one is discarded. Usually when we have no one believes you, the team is a max of 3 or 4 agents, and so that's not enough to prevent the investigation, but I guess in this case it's a good thing that you had 5 agents. Well, good thing for me at least.
Good for you, yeah. I should have used my usual strategy of leaving 1 agent behind, but I think I still would have been short anyway, but still. Let's move on to debriefing. I've got 5 cards, so I have no discard.
I have 8, so I'm going to discard. I'm going to discard Arlington, Virginia. Okay. And I now have 7 cards.
All right, then I'll turn to you to start your investigation.
Okay, I'm going to draw my free card. Okay, I'm going to generate my res, which is 3. And I'll be using, and I think last turn I forgot to use Mulder's 2 to draw 2 cards. I'm not sure, but I think so. I'm going to do that immediately, and I'm not going to draw any more cards. I think I'm not used to having Mulder on my team, so I'm always forgetting part of his effects.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so back to you.
All right. So it's your investigation. So I'm going to sell secret government files for 4. And I'm not going to risk this one. I'm going to sell the Eurisco building site for 1. So that will give me 5. 5. And since it's on me, I'm going to take my 2 for rejuvenating caves as well. And I will buy 3. And I'll turn back to you to continue your investigation.
All right, so no healing, no requisition. For case assignment, everyone stays in the field, and we are going to go investigate. Which one? Okay, we're going to go to Jerusalem, Ohio. So I'm not paying for the site since it was under travel plans. It's occult investigation 4+ and method question.
I'm sorry, what's the prerequisite again?
Occult investigation 4+ and method question.
Okay. Oof. No bluffs.
All right, so I'm sending the whole team to the site. So occult investigation 4+, and I currently have 9 occult investigation.
I have nothing to stop you.
All right, so it's a method question. So is your method subterfuge?
I can neither confirm nor deny that assumption. You play deny everything for 8.
So I'm going to play Frohiki for 3. Negate that one.
Well, that was an expensive one.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry. You'll have to repeat yourself.
Is your method subterfuge?
I'm sorry. My method what?
Subterfuge.
It is subterfuge.
Oh, so that was a good play of Frohiki then.
Yeah, I guess so.
Almost done.
Looks like we've got a couple viewers out there. Feel free to comment as we play the game if you have anything you want to say or a question about the rules. We'll definitely put it up there.
Okay, so the site is gone, and I think I do have some discarding to do. Yes, I have 9 cards, so I do need to discard things. Okay, so I discarded Alistair Crowley High School and Semi-Jacketed Hollow Points, and I now have 7 cards. So passing it to you.
All right, I'll start my briefing phase with my free card. And I'm going to, before I forget, take 2 from my friend in the FBI. And then generate res. I still have 7, so that'll take me up to 14. And I'll buy 2. I'll buy 3.
Yeah, you can afford it. So I'm going to sell Message from the Stars for 5 and Grid Pilot Search for 2. So that's 7, puts me at 12. And I'm going to buy 3 cards. And back to you.
All right. No healing necessary, so we'll skip that phase, and no requisition. So we'll go to deployment, and I'm going to leave everyone where they are. So case assignment. We are going to Broad Street in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This is criminal investigation 4+ and a method question. I'll turn to you for any bluffs.
Criminal investigation. Hold on, let me see if I can pull that off. Okay. So I have 2 cards to play. I have 1 face down bluff, and I have 1 event which I'm going to play immediately. So it's I'm not your source. It costs 4. Place this card in an opponent's field and place 2 tokens on it. Discard the token to prevent your opponent from playing any events or witnesses while investigating a site. It does not affect events or witnesses currently in play. Discard this card when no tokens remain.
No events or witnesses, eh? Okay. Well, then having been played, I will move my entire team to the site. It is criminal investigation 4+. Jerry LaManna has 1. Bonacese has 2. That makes 3. Agent Kaleka contributes 1. Manners 1. And Fuller ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, so the bluff is play to change the side prerequisite to bureaucracy 3+. It costs 3. I'm paying 2 since it was face down.
Okay. I'm going to use one of Manners' tokens to help me out here. I'll search my deck for a witness. I changed it to bureaucracy, right?
Yeah.
Sorry for the wait here. Well, one good thing that's going to come from this, at least I get to shuffle my deck.
Yeah. That can come in handy sometimes.
There it is. I'm going to add General Thomas Callahan to the investigation at a cost of 4.
So
Thomas.
I don't know if you want to.
Oh, yeah, I can't play witnesses because of the.
No, so I'm removing 1 token to prevent you from playing that witness. But
Okay. Does he get discarded or does he go to my hand then?
Well, it just said that it prevents you from playing any witnesses. So I think you can keep him in your hand and you can add the res back to your pool because technically you cannot play him.
Okay. Oh, Nathan wants to break in here. Let's bring our judges.
The whole time you're searching for that deck, David, I'm like, oh no, he's gonna pull the token.
So Manners requires you to reveal the witness, does he not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I did reveal.
Which he did.
No, I know. I think the correct way to play this is when you reveal the witness, Guillaume takes the token off, and that'll prevent you from playing him. Because he just goes to your hand, right, with Manners?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying technically I played it and I don't get to keep the witness?
No, you do. You do. He goes to your hand, and at that point, Guillaume would have removed the token. I mean, you kind of missed a step there by just playing him immediately, right?
So, Manners' effect doesn't require the witness to be played immediately. It's just added to the hand. So I think they actually played it correctly because, like, David's like, okay, I'm pulling General Thomas Callahan, and then he's like, okay, I'm gonna pay for it. And at that point, I think that's when the intent to pay to play the card is when Guillaume's supposed to remove the token for this card. Because David, let's say for instance, David could use he's like, okay, I'm screwed. I'm gonna use Manners and pull the Thinker and just add it to my hand. So it's not like Guillaume would be pulling a token off of that card in that instance where she's just like, I'm gonna play the Thinker and just use him for the next turn, sell for CP and whatnot.
My hang up is, I think, given the way eliminating the source reads.
Eliminating the source.
Or I'm sorry.
I'm not your source.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the way that reads is once you play the card, it's too late to remove the token and stop the card from being played, right?
Prevent.
So like you would have to remove the token before they play the card for that to work.
How would he know to remove?
Yeah, that's the thing. How would he know? I mean, it's kind of obvious.
That's kind of the point. Like you're gambling a little bit because.
Oh yeah.
But that means, like, for instance, if David would, like, he would have to remove 2 tokens immediately to prevent your opponent from playing either. Like, okay, you're not playing any witnesses, you're not playing any sides, so I think you have to remove the token once your opponent actually shows that he wants to play that witness or a side, because otherwise you would just be pulling the token for nothing. You would not be able to.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Otherwise, you just like do it right at the beginning of his conspiracy round. Is like, I'm gonna just pull a token now, so that means you don't get to do it for this entire turn.
That's how I would interpret it, rather than negating a witness as I try to play it.
I think that's right.
Also, I mean, like, for instance, I would have had to remove a token at the beginning of the investigation phase, and then
no, I was just saying,
you don't have to. You don't have to, and that's why I think the revealing the witness is important here, because actually the witness reveal gives you an opportunity to remove the token before David has played the card. Whereas I think if David, like, let's say he didn't reveal anything and you didn't know, I think once David plays the card, it's probably too late to take that token off because the card has already been played. You know?
So, like, my intent with that card was to prevent David from playing any events or bluff during that investigation. So if I had removed a token at the beginning of the investigation phase,
or like when you just played, or like for this instance, you played that card this round, you could have, as soon as you played the card and put the 2 tokens, like, I'm going to take one now for this turn.
Yeah, but I misread the card in that I thought that you had to remove a token to negate 1 witness, and then you removed another token to negate 1 event. But when you remove 1 token, it just prevents your opponent from playing any events or witness for the whole turn, correct?
Right.
Okay, so that's not how
I read it. Okay, maybe I'll make a note of this for us to talk about in Discord. But
I think it warrants a discussion, because here's the thing: like, a lot of those, like, like, let's say I am talking about eliminating the source this time. I'm talking about that card, not I am your source. That card specifically spells out you have, when you're placing the 2 tokens, you have to remove it at the end of this portion of the phase, or this particular phase. Right. This card doesn't do that, but what you're saying is that you're supposed to treat this card as if it in the same, with the same mechanics as if, like, let's say, eliminating the source or the menial assignments card that's part of the set. Yeah. Even though it's not spelling it out in any way similar to that, though.
I mean, that's how I read it. I think it's probably, we're going to need to talk about it more. But it doesn't matter for purposes of this, because everybody agrees that, Guillaume, you can use it here. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a question of, can he play it after David has paid for the witness?
Right.
That's the question that the card doesn't. Because I mean, the word prevent, I think, to my knowledge, I
was waiting to see what David was going to do, because my intent was always going to use the token, and I was like, okay, I'm going to let David add the witness to his hand and say, well, now you can't play him, so just add the resource back to your pool and put the witness back to your hand.
Right.
Yeah, but the question, I guess, the question is that the spirit or the intent of the card to be played in that manner when the opponent plays a witness, is like, oh no, I'm taking a token, so you got to take that witness back. Is that the intent, to be like along the same lines as like eliminating the source? Do that, and that means this whole round, this whole turn, can't play a witness.
Yeah, I could totally see it both ways, actually.
I could too. So that's why I'm trying to figure it out. Yeah, it's just that the language of this card is very different from, like, the 2 aforementioned cards, which kind of leans me in the direction that they're not going for something that's in the same vein as those other ones.
Because I think for 4 CPs, and it would be maybe too powerful to prevent your opponent for two investigations, not to use any events or witnesses.
Whereas, and that's if you don't even use a token, if David doesn't play anything, it's like then you're really sitting on that card, and he's not able to, and it's crippling him. Although this set does have other event cards that do that with the adversaries. For instance, it's like you got the the effect for doubling the cost of an adversary for every affiliation represented on there, which that is present in here, so that could also speak to that this card is a variation of that, but again, the language is different. We haven't seen the word prevent.
And those cards, they cost 4 CP, and you also have to put two RP. Well, because they cost 4 RPs, and you also have to put 2 extra RPs on those cards. So there are no tokens; there are actually RPs that you pull from your resource pool. The cards that prevents that double the cost of adversary.
Yeah.
So they basically cost 6 instead of
because you're taking them from the Yep. But you're right. It does seem like this is I'm not your source. Could be depending on how we're interpreting it. Yeah, it could be very overpowered. So yes, certainly worth a discussion. And we do have. This is a good time to point this out for anyone who may not be aware. I believe all 4 of you guys are. We had a recent new recruit to our Discord team. One named Hadros, who I figured out shortly after that is actually David May. So we could always ask him that if he would like to weigh in on some of those questionable cards. We've got someone who's there to maybe weigh in on it. Yeah. So all the more reason to post these questions in the what is it? The rules channel? Is that what it?
Yeah. That's where we're
not the rules, but the card discussion or whatever.
Discussion, yeah.
I'm sure he'd just be thrilled to have to speak to those nuances. Anyway, sorry.
I'm pestering him all the time now.
I know, right?
Carry on, gentlemen. We'll deal with anything else as it comes up.
What is the verdict?
Well, what is the ruling actually?
So shall we say that for tonight's game, it's remove 1 token to prevent 1 event or 1 weakness?
I'm fine with that. That sounds good to me.
So is
Steven,
David?
That's your take too.
Does David get to? Is David paying for Callahan at this point?
He is not paying for Callahan. Goes to his hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll agree with that. Just until we. I mean, I'm not certain that's the way to go, but I feel like that's the appropriate way to go for tonight.
Yeah.
Having a positive or a certainty regarding this card. I think that's the best way to go for both parties involved.
Yeah.
As Nathan said, carry on, gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Well, that having been said, yeah, shoot. Yeah, I'm kind of host. I can't make a bureaucracy 3 then.
Actually, I think you can, because Bonakazi has 2 and Lamana has 2 as well.
Oh, yeah. What are you talking about? What are you trying to do to me here?
Well, I do have 1 more card to play on you, so
let's see it.
So I am going to play Luis Cardinal for 3. Its activators are conspiracy and agent, and keyword government, and keyword adversary, government, creature, and pawn.
I'm sorry, what are the keywords again?
Adversary, government, creature, and pawn.
All right. Then let's play X for 3.
It's
an event. God, I already don't like that card. But that's your second token, right?
Yes.
Hmm. All right, let's go to combat.
All right, so Louis Cardinal can attack one agent, my choice, for 1 round of long-range combat and close-range combat. So he's going to attack Lamana.
All right, well, long range is 1.
And Louis Cardinal's long range is 3. So
Oof.
Lamana is gone.
Yeah. And then your guy is out. That's the end of combat, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So you still have tokens on that card that prevents me from playing witnesses and events?
No, I don't have any more tokens on that. So currently you have Lamana in the hospital and you have the side prerequisite, which is bureaucracy 3+.
So I'm cool to play witnesses now?
Well, yeah.
Then I'm going to play Wayne Morgan, Naval Investigator. Play to change a site prerequisite to evidence collection 3+.
Yeah, that will do.
That costs me 3. And since it's now evidence collection, I have Monikazi has 2. Agent Kaleka has 1. Manners is 1. So I got just enough. I got 4.
Right, so you're free to ask your question.
Oof.
That was a hard-fought one.
That was rough.
Yeah. And it just shows that, I'm not your source, depending on whether it's 1 token for 1 witness or 1 token for the whole turn, it really makes a difference. So
Stephen, you're throwing up your hands. Did you want to break in with anything? No? Okay. He's just acknowledging that that's weird. All right. So my method question, is your method manipulation?
my method is not manipulation.
I love you. That's too bad. I could have really used a breakthrough on that one. All right, moving on to debriefing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards, but I do have improved channels, which allows me to have 10. So I have no discard.
All right, and I have 5 cards.
Very good. Then I'll turn it back to you to start your investigation.
All right, I'm drawing my free card. I'm going to generate my res, which is 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to buy 1 card in addition to Mordo's 2 and passing it to you.
Okay. First things first, I'm going to grab 2 from my rejuvenating caves. Make 4. I'm going to Sorry to keep you waiting here. I'm going to sell autopsy.
Don't worry about it. There are many times where I'm taking a lot of time to decide.
Yeah, it's not easy. Just got to make sure I can pay for all these things to screw you up later.
Something to look forward to.
Right. Oh, I'm going to hate myself in the morning, but I'll sell that Thomas Callahan that I got for 4. So that'll give me 6. And I'm going to buy 3. And back to you, sir.
All right, so no healing, no requisition. Everyone stays in the field. For case assignment, I'm going to use the last site under travel plans. Yes. It's Miller's Grove. I'm discarding travel plans. So Miller's Grove, Massachusetts, Alien Investigation 4+ and result question.
You said alien investigation?
Yes, alien investigation and result.
All right. 1 bluff, sir.
All right, I'm sending the whole team to the site.
And which agents are contributing?
Everyone. So alien investigation 4+, and I currently have 5, 6, 7, 9. I currently have 9.
Oof. All right. Well, it was a true bluff. So I just wanted to make you sweat a little bit. I have nothing else to prevent your investigation.
Okay, so it's results. Hold on. Is your result insanity?
It is not.
Okay. So the site is gone. I have 9 cards, so I do need to discard something.
I have 8, but improved channels allows me to have 10.
These are all good cards, so that's tough. Yeah. So, well, I do have to keep cards to sell for CP, so I have to discard Rejuvenating Caves and Implant Records and Steal Memory. And I now have 7 cards.
All right, so I'll begin my investigation. Draw a free card. Okay. I'll start by talking to my friend in the FBI and taking 2. And then generating res, I've got 3 and 2 for 5, and then 1 from Bonacese makes 6. Takes me up to 16. And I'll buy 3. And to you to sell and buy.
All right. So I'm going to sell Langley for 2, Shotgun for 6, and Dead Horse Alaska for 1. So that's 9. And I'm going to buy 3 cards. Yeah, 3 cards. And back to you.
All right. No, 1 healing, so I'll take 1 token off of Lamana. And then no requisition, so we'll move to deployment, and everyone's going to stay where they're at for this turn. Case assignment. We're going to go to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This is criminal investigation 4+, and a method question.
Okay. You're free to ask your question. I don't have anything to stop you. Once again, I only have 1 CP card in my hand. That's at least half of my deck is CP cards, and well.
Nathan wants to add something here. Let's see what he's got.
Guillaume, I just wanted to make sure you added the conspiracy points correctly there on the cards you discarded. You added 9. I know you discarded you discarded 3 cards. I thought you discarded 4. Okay.
Shotgun and the Horse Alaska.
Okay, all good.
Thought for sure he was going to foil my question.
No, not at all, David. Ask away.
All right. All right, where were we? Oh, nothing.
Yeah, you're free to ask your question.
Okay, I was just going to move all my agents up there. This is methods. So, gosh, this is where I'm focusing tonight too, isn't it? Is your method violence?
My method. No, it's not violence.
It's not violence. Okay. That helped a little bit. Ooh, that helped a lot. Still 16 to choose from, though. So 2, 3, 4, 6. All right, moving to debriefing. I have 11, so I do have to discard 1.
How many did you say, David? 16?
Oh, yeah, I may have skipped one.
Because I have, or maybe I did because I have 17. So I just want to make sure that you did not cross off something that you shouldn't have. You did ask if it was death, that was no, manipulation no, and violence no.
Right.
But maybe I did forget to cross off something.
I'm still getting 16. Maybe I did one by mistake here.
Okay, I have remaining possibilities. I have alien abductors, Arctic worm, alien conservationists, alien listeners, reverse engineers, Colonel Anderson, Ed Funch, cigarette smoking man, alien DNA, Dr. Benton, BJ Morrow, Sheriff Tom
Aarons, yeah.
Warren James Dupree, Ancestor Spirits, Colonel Wharton, and the last 2 as well.
Yeah, so I've just miscounted then.
Okay, well, as long as you're all good.
And I still need to discard 1.
I have 7 cards.
Isn't there a card that lets me have 11 in my hand?
I think I do have a question though. Improved channel, does that allow you to keep 10 cards in your hand during your turn as the conspiracy player as well, or is it only during your turn as the investigating player?
Well, let's read it from the top here. I'm going to get it real close. The team must make a bureaucracy 4 skill check. If successful, you may now have up to 10 cards in your hand at the end of your turn. This condition stays in effect until you are forced to discard this card. Discard this card if any of your hands or if any of your agents are moved from or to the bureau section of the table for any reason. So it says.
I seem to recall reading something somewhere about that card, but I'm not sure. I might be mistaken. But improved channel. Yes, it was in the FAQ. In the debriefing phase of my opponent, do I have to discard to 7 cards even if I have improved channel? So it says, yes, improved channels only allows you to have 10 in your hand when you are in your active debriefing phase, as the card as activators as active. So I don't know, maybe bring in the judges.
Hmm.
I mean, that's how I interpret it too. It's whenever you're the investigating player, David, that you get to keep up to 10, not while you're the conspiracy player.
Yeah,
It's an RP card after all, so.
I've been misinterpreting that card, I think, because I had thought that it applied to both phases, but the card text clearly says it's just at the end
Your
of your
turn.
Yeah.
All right, so
Or
I
at the
have
end of
way
your
too many
briefing phase,
cards then.
or debriefing.
Yeah, improved channels just got a little less appealing, didn't it, Nathan?
Well,
For sure.
it's still good because I think when you have 10 cards at the end of your investigation phase, then you can keep those cards to sell for CP.
Right.
So that's,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
All right, well, it is my turn, right? So I'll keep 10 in my hand. And
Thanks for
discard
pointing that
John
out,
Bartlett.
Guillaume. That's excellent.
Yes.
I think that only occurred to me, so I don't know if you've used that card on your previous turn to end with 10 cards during your turn as the conspiracy player, but
Doesn't matter. It's over. So
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I did take advantage of it during my
Okay.
conspiracy.
That's fine.
All right. Well, good point there. Yeah, I assumed it was all the time because it was a resource card, but
yeah.
Good call on the semantics there. All right. Back to you then to start your investigation.
Okay, so I'm drawing my free card. Going to generate my res, which is 3. I'm going to play friend in the FBI. So I'm going to put 8 tokens on it. And in addition to Molders 2, I'm going to buy I'm going to, I don't know. It's frustrating. I'm going to buy 2 cards. Hold on. No, I'm not buying any. I'm buying 1 extra card in addition to Molders 2. So that's 3 cards. And passing it to you.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the worst laptop ever made. Ugh. All right. I'll start by using 2 tokens from Rejuvenating Caves. Takes me up to 9. And I'll sell He Won't Let Me Die for 4. Takes me to 13. And now I have to be careful about my hand size. Oof. I'll buy just one. And back to you.
Okay, so no healing, no requisition. Everyone stays in the field. We are going to go investigate Aleister Crowley High School. It costs 1. I'm using Box's token to pay for that. It's Occult Investigation 5+ or Observation 5+, and it's affiliation or result question.
Affiliation or resource. I have 2 bluffs.
Okay, I'm sending the whole team to the site.
All right. First bluff. Nasty surprise. Add 5 tokens to your pool. Cost is 3, but I played it upside down, so cost is 2. So I'll just add 3 on there.
As if you need any more CP.
Well, you can never have too much RP. Come on now.
That's true.
And Detective Thompson cost 3, but he was upside down, so 2. And play to change site prerequisite to bureaucracy 3+.
Okay, so I'm going to play Grid Pattern Search for 2. And I'm going to play Langley for 2.
Okay. Then moving on from bluffs. You said this is an affiliation site?
Yeah, affiliation or result.
Okay. And occult investigation, right?
Occult investigation or observation. So I'm using occult investigation.
Okay. I'm going to play the mechanic for 7. The mechanic may use martial arts or subterfuge combat cards, which I don't have any of. Its activators are conspiracy and affiliation site.
All right. So what are his keywords?
Keyword are adversary, government, pawn, and creature.
All right. And what are his skills and what health and skills?
Long range is 4, short range is 3, and health is 5.
I'm going to play a call for help for 4. Search through your bureau deck for 1 event or witness card with the activator active. Show the card to your opponent and add it to your hand. If the card is playable immediately, you may do so for 0 cost.
Is that an event card?
Event or witness.
Okay.
Okay, where are you? I'm going to play X for free. to negate that adversary.
All right. Nothing to stop X.
Okay, so he's going to the discard pile.
I got nothing else. Go ask away.
Okay, so I'm going to, it's affiliation or result. Is your affiliation alien?
It is.
Okay, I'm not asking an identity question. So the side is gone. And I have 7 cards in my hand.
All right. Ooh, 7. So I'm good.
Okay, passing it to you.
All right. I'll start by drawing my card. I'll take 2 from my friend in the FBI. Generate res. I've got 5, 6. Takes me to 21. And I'm going to buy 4. And turn to you to sell and buy.
Okay, so I'm going to sell Alien Technology for 2, Charlie Tuscany for 4, a near-death experience for 4, and he won't let me die for 4. So that's 12, 14. Yes. Plus 6, so that puts me at 20. And I'm going to buy... I'm going to buy 7 cards. And passing it back to you.
All right. Moving on to healing. I'll take 1 off of Lamana. No requisition at this time, and deployments, everyone's going to stay where they are at. Because if I remember correctly, Lamana still needs to stay there since his health is 3.
Yes, that's correct.
Moving on to case assignment, we're going to go to Newark, New Jersey. This is evidence collection 4+ or method. I'll turn to you for any bluffs.
I have 2 bluffs.
All right. Going to move all 4 to the site. It's investigation 4, evidence collection 4+, So I've got 2, 3, 4, 4. Just enough.
Okay, so the first bluff is Nasty Surprise, which you're familiar with. So I'm adding 3 to my resource conspiracy. Well, I'm paying 2 to add 5. And the second bluff is a conundrum. Play to negate 1 keyword evidence collection card.
I'm going to Langley that one.
Hold on, I'm going to pay for it. So it was 2.
Now I'm going to Langley it for 2.
So I have, hold on. I'm going to play the Foreign Operative for 5. It's adversary government creature, and its activator is conspiracy and event, which you've just played Langley.
I'm sorry, what are its keywords?
Adversary, government, and creature.
And I'm going to play X for 3.
All right. Really
Anything else, sir?
Yes, I do have something else. You're really making me work for this one. Okay, I'm going to play 1 bluff face up for 3. Dr. Stroman, play to change the side prerequisite to medical 3+.
That's a bluff?
Yes.
Come on, where is grid pattern search when you need it? I think I have a witness for this, so I'm going to use Manners' token here. Search for a witness. Let's see here. Sorry to keep you waiting here.
Oh, it's okay.
Because I think I may have hosed myself here. Excellent. Here's to trimming your deck. All right, well, I'm already dialed in. I'm pulling a witness, so I'm going to grab one here real quick. Just add it to my hand, but I don't have anything to start to make a medical.
All right.
Okay. So I'll just put that witness in my hand. I'll start shuffling these things, but I cannot make that medical, so I assume that the investigation is over.
So which witness did you add?
Do I have to show you?
Yes.
Oh yeah, show the witness. It's Kristen Kalar.
All right. I could have used her. Well, she's in my deck somewhere, but she hasn't come up.
Oof. All right, so on to debriefing here. I will continue to shuffle.
I have 6 cards.
I have 10, and because it's my turn, improved channels helps me out with that.
Yeah.
So I will turn back to you to start your investigation.
Okay, so I'm drawing my free card. I'm going to generate my res, which is 3 plus 2 from friend in the FBI. And in addition to Mulder's two cards, I'm going to draw 1 extra card. That's 3. And passing it to you.
Okay. I'm going to use 2 from Rejuvenating Caves. That's the last of those, so I'll discard that. I'm going to sell Fighter Interceptor in the Erlenmeyer flask. Those are both 4, so that gives me 8. And I'll buy 2. And back to you, sir.
Right, no healing, no requisition. Everyone stays in the field. We are going to go investigate committee. I'm using one of Mulder's tokens to pay for that card. It's occult investigation for plus and motive question. And before you play anything, I'm going to play make the deal for 2. Play this card on one side card during the case assignment phase. No bluffs may be played on this side except for bluffs, which would negate this card. So occult investigation and motive.
Okay. Well, no bluffs. Which guys are you moving?
Everyone. So occult investigation 4 plus, I currently have 9.
Okay. going to play authorized access only for 4. Force an opponent team to make a subterfuge 4+ skill check. If they're not successful, they automatically fail the skill check for the site.
Yeah, that will do it. I only have 3 subterfuge.
That stopped you?
Yeah, I only have 3 subterfuge, and I don't have any other card that could have negated that event.
Okay.
Moving on to debriefing, I have 8 cards, so I do need to discard something. I'm going to discard Exorcist Convalescent Home. And I now have 7 cards.
Okay. Very quickly, I'm going to play Rejuvenating Caves for 2. And add my 10 tokens.
How much more rejuvenated can you get?
Feeling pretty rejuvenated. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need to discard 1. That is going to be this adversary, John Barnett, links you to Mulder. It's been a little tough to get that high in conspiracy. So.
Yeah, it does cost a lot.
Anything else before we move on?
No.
All right, I'll start by drawing my free card. Nice. I'll use my last 2 friend in the FBI. And then generating res, I generate 5 here and then 1 from Agent Bonacese. So that's 6. Takes me up to 20.
That's insane.
I'm going to buy 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful. And I'll turn to you to sell and buy for conspiracy.
All right, I'll sell my second Charlie Tascani for 4, Chester Bonaparte for 5, and Arecibo for 1. So that's 10. Puts me at 16. And I'm going to buy 5 cards. 5 cards. And I've reached half of my deck.
Wow. All right. Let's see here. Before we go any further, I'm going to play Kristen Kalar. Adds 1 to your pool every time a keyword in cult investigation or criminal investigation card is played. That costs me 3. And then I'm going to and help me if I'm misinterpreting this. I'm going to use one of Agent Linda Kaleka's tokens. It says place 2 tokens on this card, discard a token to draw 1 card from the top of your barrow deck for 0 cost.
Yes.
Anytime you are the active player. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab a card. Not the one I was hoping it would be there.
And if you want, you can. It doesn't say that you can only do that once per turn, so you can remove her second token immediately if you want.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay. We will then move to healing. So I'll take 1 off of Lamana. He's fully healed now.
Yeah.
Requisition. No requisition. Deployment, I'm going to move Lamana back to the field here. Going to case assignment. I have all these cards, but no sight card.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know who shuffled this deck, but it is not working out for me. And nothing to search either. So I will move directly to debriefing. I've got 14 cards here. Fortunately, improved channels helps me on this one.
Yeah. And I have 9 cards, so yeah, 9. Okay. So I'm discarding Detective Thompson and Explosion.
All right, I am going to discard Puzzles Within Puzzles, Unexplainable Time Loss, Sheriff Mazeroski, and Watch Out. That takes me down to 10.
Okay.
And turn to you to start your investigation.
I'm drawing my free card. Generating my res, that's 3. And the 2 from Friendly FBI. And in addition to Murders 2, I'm going to draw 2 cards. And passing it to you.
All right, I'm going to sell cell phone for 4, Skinner's wedding ring for 4. That gives me 8, takes me up to 16. What was I just saying? I wasn't getting enough conspiracy. going to buy 2, 3. And back to you, sir.
Okay. No healing, no requisition. Everyone stays in the field. We are going to go investigate the UFO wreckage in Townsend, Wisconsin. I'm using Box's token to pay for that site. It's alien investigation 5+ or bureaucracy 5+, and it's a motive or result question.
Motive or result, huh?
Yes.
Okay. One bluff.
I'm paying alien discretion. I'm paying 2 to discard that bluff.
Okay, it was a true bluff anyway.
Okay, I'm sending everyone to the site. So alien investigation 5+, and I have 9. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, 9.
Yeah. You said it's result?
Motive or result.
I got nothing. Go ahead and ask your question.
Is your result abduction?
It is not.
So are you the alien listeners?
Thank God it's over. Yes, I'm the alien listeners. Oof. Let's bring in our judges.
Bravo, Guillaume. Well played.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
And David, I am going to once again commend you on having a seemingly limitless pool of I mean, seriously, it's like you have no problem amassing a wealth of resources in your pools. I'd like to tap into that and for my games, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just buying too many cards and briefing, but man, dude, you just know how to accumulate.
Well,
Even
you got the team right here for it, so you know.
True, but even without this team, I mean, this is not the first time we've seen you get those kinds of double-digit points in your two pools.
Yeah, I didn't have it in time to play that John Barnett.
That would have been nice to see. That has not happened yet.
Yeah, and as usual, all of my CP cards are right here. I have full hand of CP cards, and I did have 2 Lux video camera and Mrs. Mulder to sell, so that I would have been nice to play those.
Yeah, even when you are seemingly drained of resources, David, you throw down the unexpected call.
Yeah.
And replenish the pool. That's a really neat way around jeopardizing the X-Files. I like that a lot. Well played.
Yeah, early on we were trading dick cards for dick cards on that, weren't we?
Yeah.
During that turn, that was the only CP card that I had, so I did not have any choice.
That's okay. Yeah. Oof.
And
well, at least I got to ask a few questions this time around.
Yeah. How many did you have him narrow down to at the end there, David?
I don't think I asked an additional one, so I was at 17, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I still had a little ways to go
you want to try to guess? Take a guess.
Sure, that's a pretty big field to choose from, but just for fun,
Stranger things have happened.
I'm going to ask: is your X file BJ Morrow?
No, it was Ed Funch.
No.
And for once, I have the hospital crash card, and none of my agents were sent to the hospital, as opposed to last game or previous games where I would have needed that crash card.
Well, David certainly tried.
Yeah.
Tried to get him over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bonacasi's effect. Place a token on Agent Bonacasi. If at any time during the game, at any time during the game, discard a token to force any agent to return to the Bureau immediately. Now, if I can only use that on my investigation phase.
You can use it. You could use it at any time during the game.
Anytime.
This is one agent that bucks that rule that you can only use effects during investigation phase.
Yeah, the only time you can't use that effect is during combat.
Right.
Pretty much any other time, it's fair game. You could do that to get Skin. Like you take Skinner out into the field, so he can help out. And then at the end of like the investigation phase, you're in debriefing. Use a token. He's right back in the Bureau, ready to be a Res 3 for your next turn. Or while you're the conspiracy player, David, you can use that token and send like Mulder or Hosteen back to the Bureau, and then that would disrupt, Guillaume's investigation. So it seems from how we're interpreting it, it seems it could go either way.
I think since it does specifically says at any point, at any time during the game.
Yeah. So an opportunity lost on that one, but it seemed like even if I had gotten rid of one.
Yeah, you would have had to get rid of one and then maybe play an adversary or an event or have them make a skill check that would have been lost without that missing agent. But
yeah, because he was pretty strong in Occult and Alien. I mean, you get rid of one of those 3 agents. It's like he's still got 2 agents that can usually contribute enough to get the skill check.
Yeah, I was waiting for an adversary to knock one out, and then I could use the token to take another one. But that did not happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, a call for help card is really like I think the X-Files CCG's equivalent to a get out of jail free card.
Yeah,
being able to just go in there and summon any card and then it's already paid for. I mean, my God, it's like that'll just get you just about any jam as long as you knew how. As long as you included all the right cards in your Bureau deck.
I think maybe it's one of those cards that could or should have been. You can only have one per deck.
Agreed.
Yeah.
100%.
Either slightly more expensive or one copy only. So I mean, it's like even if for like Queequeg. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
we can have only one Queequeg, but we can have 2 call for helps. I don't know. It seems a little imbalanced.
I think even though like if you don't use it, selling it for 4 CP is still worth.
Yes,
having it in the deck. I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it should be 1 per deck. The card is just so busted. Last game, I forget who it was, Alistair maybe, that used it to go get a deep throat and immediately ask another question.
Yeah,
it's just a really busted way to use it. So.
Yeah, can't knock it though. I mean,
no, it's
Yeah, and the Deep Throat card is interesting because I did, as we're gonna see a playtest version of it pretty soon, it's gonna raise some questions. So I guess that's gonna be on Tuesday. So yeah, be talking to you guys in Discord about one of the nuances of that particular card once we get there. Not that I'm not sure it'll change anything, but it's certainly worth a discussion, though.
The playtest version of it, you're saying?
The playtest version, but also its implications on the wording for the commercially released card. I know one of my recurring opponents, Dave Meyer, has argued this point with the commercially released Deep Throat, but I think he's in the minority on that, and I was like, no, I'm not reading it that way.
So what was his point?
That when you play Deep Throat, that for the question, you get the question, you remove not just that one from the game, but if you have another copy in your deck, you remove that one as well. Yes. And the playtest card casts a particular light on that aspect of it. So anyway, but again, that is for after we do this interview with Dave May on Tuesday, and I get it posted, and then I'll post the question out to everyone in the I think that's one of the questions I will be asking Mr. May in the thing. So spoiler alert on that. But yeah, not to give too much away because we haven't done the interview yet.
Gentlemen, I'm glad you're all here to witness this.
Oh, what you got?
I'm going to bring my table back in. I have finally graduated.
That's a nice long box you got there, David.
It's 2 channels no longer holds all of my X-Files collection, so I have to upgrade my box to a larger one. So
that's nice.
Did you acquire some more cards recently?
I've been getting some here and there.
Okay.
Some through the generosity of our community, and I've been trying to pick up ones here and there. I'm down to only the really expensive ones, so they're going to trickle in kind of slowly.
Yeah, those are tricky. Yeah.
I did.
Go ahead, Nathan.
Oh, I was going to say I did just buy a sealed Premier box.
Oh wow.
Starter or booster?
Oh, booster box. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Very cool. I mean, yeah. Are we planning on doing another? No, you haven't done an unboxing. You did an unboxing for another game. Are you going to do one for that?
I don't know. It was the only box that I did not have yet, like sealed. So I don't know if I'm gonna like keep it as a one-off or crack it or what's gonna happen. I kind of want to know what the ultra rares are, right? Like,
yeah, only for X-ray vision.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got one.
Like it'll be a Krychek and Krychek and Skinner or something. So.
Oh, ultra rare Krychek. Yeah. I've got one of each over here. A box of 12 starters and another box of boosters, but just not really at a point where I'm wanting to crack them now that I've got 2 complete sets of Premier and Truth is Out There at this point. So it's like, anything that's in there is not going to put me closer to completing, anything.
Right.
So yeah, it's probably just going to sit there and look pretty for a while, which is fine. Right. But yeah, I'm curious to see what if you. I love watching unboxing episodes. So yeah, if you're planning on doing one,
pressure's on.
Yeah, I had fun doing mine.
That was a fun one to watch too.
We had a great panel of people to weigh in on and talk while I'm so busy opening cards, and so yeah, I would love to do another one, and I probably will. So if I can, count on a strong group of people to kind of carry the show,
right,
on opening cards. So yeah,
that's a really good way to do it, rather than just sit there yourself. And I like that format a lot.
Yeah, you can use StreamYard to have everyone like off to one side and have the main camera be the table. So yeah, it totally works. So let me ask, since David, by any chance, and I haven't looked at your remainder list in a while, or Nathan, do you have a complete set?
Yes.
You do? Okay.
I have one of every card ever made. Yes, except for like the Gen Con stuff, obviously.
Right. Same. I did just win a bid for a Krychek Possessed while the game was going on. $5.
I was watching that one. It was only like $5 or something. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, you know what? No one's bidding. So the last minute or two, I was like, you know what? $5. I'll put in on it. I've already got 3, but I was like, you know what? It's $5. I mean, yeah. So does anyone need one? David, do you have one? Is he one of yours?
I have one.
I think I have one.
Okay, if you don't, let me know. I won't like it's sitting in the cart ready to be paid, but if one of you needs one, I'll just modify the shipping address and just have it go straight to you. If anyone needs it, because like I said, I got 3 here. I don't need more than 3 copies of a card, but I was like, that's just too much of a tempting offer to pass up.
Yeah, any ultra rare for $5 is worth picking up.
Absolutely. There was a Men in Black one, but there was someone who'd already bid on it, so it was going to be a minimum of like 8 plus shipping, like $1 shipping. So I was like, I was like, you know what? I already got one ultra rare tonight, so I'm good.
I think you cannot beat what I paid for that. Truth is out there because
my gosh,
a few weeks ago I sent Steven a list of the cards that I was missing. I was missing quite a lot of the Truth is out there cards, and so Steven sent me a bunch, and I ordered the ones that Steven did not have from category 1, I think.
Yes.
And I ordered a few more off of eBay. So I was set to have the complete Truth is out there set. And once some of the cards were on their way, I checked my email and I was going through my list to make sure that I did have everything, on the way. And I realized that I was missing the X file for Eugene Victor Toombs, the Truth is out there version. And so I was like, okay, this will be the only one that will be missing. So I did find it on Nerd Merchant. So the card was like 30 cents and $16 shipping. So I decided, okay, since it's only the one card that I'm missing, I'm just going to buy it because it's going to drive me crazy not having that one card. So I did pay for it. And then when I received my category 1 order, I did have Eugene Victor Toombs in it.
Oh, no.
He had it the whole time.
Yeah, so now I have a very expensive Eugene Victor Toombs coming.
So do you know? Well, so it was like what, stuck to another card or something? Was that right?
The thing is, when I put the cards for the category 1 order, I put the cards in my cart in order in my list, and for some reason I did not put Eugene Victor Toombs with the other X files. I must have forgotten it, so I included it at the end of my list, and it was at the bottom of the cart, and so it was at the bottom of the list that they sent me through email.
Okay.
So when I looked at all the X files, I was like, okay, so no Toombs, and I did not go through the whole list. Otherwise,
so you had originally got the card from, it was category 1, right? It wasn't one of the ones that I sent you, right?
No.
Okay. Man, so you have 2 copies of that particular X file now. So you got to play it now.
Yeah, well, not for a while because I don't want you guys to think that I'm going to be using it. At some point, I'll be using that version because it costs too much not to be used.
Yes, it does. Kind of same for those Gen Con cards too. You might say.
Yeah.
Those 2 Gen Con X files you have.
Yeah, I'm kind of always hesitant to play them because I think by this point you guys must have forgotten which 2.
I don't remember. That's for sure.
Every time I think because David has a couple of Gen Con X files as well. So I keep forgetting who has which ones. It's like, yeah, Arctic Worm, Eve, and I think one of you might have Toombs. I don't.
No, well, not me.
But no, Toombs isn't a Gen Con. Mine. Even Arctic Worm, I know for sure.
Yeah. Since I always choose randomly, I guess if at some point I happen to randomly find the one that I have a Gen Con copy of, I might switch to Gen Con, but otherwise I'm not using them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just do it that way. I mean, if you just Or you just put the Gen Con X-Files in with your X-Files and then pull randomly. I mean, it's same result.
Yeah, I'm the one with Tombs.
Oh, you do have Tombs is a Gen Con.
Nice.
Yeah, all right. See,
Tombs
I knew
and
one of you.
Dwayne Barry.
And Dwayne Barry. Both signed by David May.
Guillaume, I think you would have paid $20 for that version. The Gen Con.
Yeah.
Yep. Who here wouldn't pay that? No, I would. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Not much more than that though, because I'm like, oh god. I mean, they are outrageously priced now. Never see one for $20 ever again, I doubt.
Yeah.
All right, Stephen, I'm tapping your vast knowledge. Which witness gives me +3 medical?
+3 medical. It's one of the Scully set ones, which I have yet to commit entirely to memory. So is it Dr. Sizer? Are you asking me, or that you know, or do you?
I'm not quizzing you. I'm asking you. I don't know.
Dr. Sizer is my guess, and so I'm going to check now as I've already locked in my answer, and let's see if I am correct on that. I am correct.
All right.
Dr. Sizer, ladies and gentlemen. Yep.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Most.
I mean, yeah. For Scully's set cards, I haven't quite got them all in my head, but yeah, it was a fair shot in the dark. Trying to think of all of the witnesses in Scully set that have doctor in front of them. It's like it's not Roosevelt, and I was kind of going back and forth between Sizer and Godfrey for a moment, but yeah.
That's the next proxy I'm printing as soon as we finish the broadcast.
Lesson learned.
Oh yeah. There's your answer to Dr. Stroman right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh shoot, I better put him in my deck too, just in case Jonathan feels like playing him tomorrow night.
I think once we include season 4 cards, it will be almost impossible to cover everything well.
It's just yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm kind of like iffy about playing a game that is Scully set and season 4 cards. I'm like, maybe just keep it at 1.
What's good about that is that you can choose. Like I was talking to you, Steven. I was trying to build a behavioral team using the cards from Premiere, etc. But that's not a good team using all those agents. But when you factor in season 4 agents, that's something really good. And also with the season 4 sites, you can maybe tailor your deck with more sites that fit your best abilities. So that's always good as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the downside is that your opponent gets more chances to play cards against you.
Oh, yes. And it's harder to keep that deck to a reasonable number, too.
Yeah.
You've got, 3 expansions going on. Holy
I had
cow.
120 cards tonight.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was close to that.
I've got the deck building itch. I've got to put a new one together here.
Yeah, that's what I've been working. I've been just trying to finalize the one I'm going to use for tomorrow, but trying to not go over 100 anymore, just because it's too much. Because I feel like between this new set, it's just like, I just want to throw in all the cards, but nope.
It's easier if you don't play Manners.
It is
easier to lose.
But I'm already going in with a handicap agent, so I feel like Manners is kind of obligatory at this point. So it's like, because I've got one agent who's not going to be really contributing much of anything, so I need all the help I can get.
Well, then you can balance that by adding Too Close to the Truth and Unexpected Call to your.
Absolutely not. I like to walk away from the game like not feeling like I need to take a shower afterwards, and that's what happens every time if I play those two. That Unexpected Call or Too Close to the Truth. So nada.
David doesn't feel that way right now, I think.
I'm going to sleep like a baby.
Yeah.
Especially especially with the card that Guillaume played.
Yeah, it's the perfect risk. If there is ever one moment to play that card, it was after jeopardizing the X.
Yeah,
absolutely. That was a good one. Yeah, I really enjoyed watching that game. I'm gonna try to get episode 18 posted. Either Monday's probably gonna. If it's not gonna come up Monday, it should be up Tuesday. Guys, this one I don't know if you got. Do any of you remember the game where Guillaume and I did the pre-training card? Yeah, I know you watched it, David, because I remember. I don't know. I started off with all of the agents having training cards equipped to them.
Oh,
it was
okay.
Kind of a little augmented rule.
Sure.
Yeah, that's the one I'm editing right now. My gosh. Oh, that was a really fun game. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that one. And Guillaume's got me a ton of clips to really underscore the cards that get played in that one. And my gosh, I forgot how crazy that ending of that game is. So not saying any more about it, but watch it just for the end. It's totally worth it.
Sell it. I'll check that one out when you post it, because I don't think I watched that one live, so it'll all be new to me. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, Guillaume, the only thing I didn't like about this is, for once, it was almost like your camera was actually blurrier than mine, which is weird because usually I have the worst resolution on my end of the screen. But in that particular episode, it almost you were almost, going for who could have the worst camera resolution going on for that one. But normally you have really crisp resolution from your screen. I don't know what was happening that particular night.
Yeah, it's strange. Maybe something with StreamYard, maybe.
I don't know, but problem's been solved since now that I'm not paying for since I'm not using the free version anymore. I've got the duck logo's gone, and I've recording locally now, so is all good. But I'm not quite to editing those episodes yet, those more recent ones.
So how many episodes do you have in store?
I forget how many are in the backlog, but it's about 10.
Oh, okay.
At minimum, and there's probably going to be one or two that I might skip, just if I go watch it and I'm like, maybe I could, or it'll just be one that I get to later on. But because I really do want to get caught up on them. But it's really hard to pass up, to skip some really good episodes in order to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the pre-training one is definitely a really good episode it was I think it was right. I think I said in the episode it was like it's the day before my daughter's birthday, so it was like October 6th or something that we did that one. So it feels like a long time ago.
Editing is no joke.
No. How are you doing on your last one? Because I think the last one you recorded, you were planning on editing it, right?
So it was the one before last one that David and I played a while ago. Yeah, so we're just about wrapped up on that. So I should be posting it within the next week. We'll see if that comes to fruition. But it'll be the first X-Files content on the channel. Yeah.
And the first edited one too, right?
Right. And then I'm gonna post one too of, I have one of the bricks that Dax sent of the Scully set unopened. So I'm going to crack those and just kind of do I don't know. I go back and forth on whether I want to do a deep dive for each card type for each suit, or whether I just want to do one whole thing. But it's going to be one of those two. Either just cracking it on camera and going through it quickly and highlighting notable cards, or else I'll do go by suit and kind of break down the strengths and weaknesses of each of the suits.
Okay.
So,
I vote for the deep dive.
The deep dive. I knew you would. But yeah, I have some
for some of these. I don't know how much deep diving you're going to be able to do for the witnesses, but
Yeah.
Maybe there's a couple in there that would warrant a long discussion, but
events more than make up for it, though. So
yeah. That is a good idea. Yeah. No, I didn't think of doing that because I've already obviously cracked the bricks that Dax has sent me. Although I think he's going to be sending me a brick of the Fight the Future cards. So in that case, I might, since you've just given me that idea, I might hold off on cracking up in that Fight the Future deck and maybe do an opening of it.
Yeah, it's the first version, correct? Like
correct.
Before play tests.
Yep. So that one, he has submitted the order. So yeah, so a few weeks it'll get here, and then I'll be good to go for playtesting on that.
Like,
that's probably what we're talking about. We need to get the images. We need to have the images available so that, like, David and Nathan, if you guys want to print off, the cards on, like, pieces of paper, to see.
Because I don't think that Dex has posted the updated versions of the cards after we had made our suggestion. So even I don't know what the final text is now.
Right. And what I could do is, I don't want to have to wait till I get the order because it's going to be a few weeks. But I could always ask him if he doesn't care. I can just send you guys the images, I guess. There's that.
Or you could post them on Discord.
I could post them on Discord. That would be better because it seems like we do have a lot of people who've recently joined the Discord who want to take part in, who are maybe interested in taking part in the playtesting. So yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. And if he doesn't care, then I'll do that. He might want to post the images in Discord. I'll just see what he wants to do. But I know obviously it's 50, 55, 60 cards or something. Yeah. So, I'm sure. So we'll just see which one of us will certainly be making the images available for everyone who wants to take part in playtesting.
Yeah. Once they're available, I'll go to the printer here and print a draft copy of each card to be able to playtest.
Yeah, it'll be nice getting back into the swing of playtesting since we haven't done it since September? Is that right?
Yeah. And speaking, well, that was my question. When I woke up before the game, I read the messages on Discord, and we were talking about maybe doing mini expansions instead of full 175 cards expansions.
Yeah.
So
we've talked about a few of those in the past with the like historical expansion. Mm-hmm. I think there was one other. Was it like a black oil expansion or something like that too? I think might have mentioned. But yeah, just little like 20 card, 30 card sets or something like that. And I do like that. We can slot them in between. Like if we're doing a larger one, we can do a mini one in between, and it doesn't require quite as much effort to make those possible.
Yeah.
I think my only reservation about that is that I would not. Well, like for instance, if we had done a mini Gulag expansion, and maybe season 4 would not be as strong without those cards. Or if we had done a mini Cancer expansion, season 4 would not be as good with those two concepts. So my only reservation is maybe making the season set weaker because we will be pulling some mechanics to make mini expansions. You know what I mean?
I do, but as a practical matter, it doesn't really come up until after season 7 because we've already got. Steven's locked into season 5. You've got season 6 and 7. So and for the later, so those expansions are already going to be strong, right? Because you've designed them from the ground up without worrying about any of the mini stuff. Mm-hmm. And who cares once you get to season sorry, not sorry, right?
I think
I don't know.
Season 8 has the possibility Season 8 has the possibility to have really strong cards because I have to say I do like that season, and I agree. Season 9, 10, 11. Yeah, well, maybe they can be mini expansions by themselves.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, I
at least
kind of like if we're to. I like the idea of exploring that after we do it at least 8.
Yeah, maybe 9. I'd say
maybe 9. I could go either way on 9, but yeah, I mean, you want to do mini expansions for the last 2 sorry not sorry seasons, I could, yeah. I'd be like, yeah, they're mini seasons basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, mini expansions would work great for those last 2 seasons for sure. And if we do any sort of like revisit expansions for any like one season, you know, that's possible. I mean, you know, I know one thing that we're like, at least, you know, for the ones we're working on now, like when I come up with like, if one of us comes up with like a keyword or something that, you know, would be great, you know, we've been communicating it to one another, and just like, it's like, okay, so make sure it includes some, you know, some criminal cards or something in yours, so that, or, you know, some abductee keywords, so that way there is some carryover to some of the big expansions. But that still doesn't mean that we won't come up with something that would have worked well later on. And that's kind of where, yeah, a mini expansion could serve that purpose, to kind of serve like, oh, you know, there's an idea for that would serve, you know, one of those seasons that has previously come and gone.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
The Field of His Crime Lab, there will be a mini expansion as well if you're looking at.
Yeah.
So have you made any progress on that front, David? Or are you still waiting to see maybe if Steven can find new information about what was supposed to happen with that?
I'm going to be moving forward with mine. I'm kind of betting on the fact that nobody's going to remember what the plan was with that. Or if they did have a plan, that it wasn't fleshed out enough to make anything happen, and they just repurposed. There was some talk about the witnesses being used in something like that, and then they scrapped it. I think they kind of had a great idea and just kind of left it off because the game was already kind of complicated.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I'm guessing nobody committed that to memory. I doubt there's any documentation. I think it probably just disappeared during playtesting.
I don't know about documentation so much because David May is Mike's probably getting mad at me for David May has like a long box of playtest cards. Some with like there's like a couple different, like for instance, there's more than one Deep Throat playtest card, and every single card that David May has sent to us tells a story about the early days of the game that makes it interesting. And I'm not going to get into specifics now because we got an interview to do. There is a lot in those playtest cards that is giving us a bigger, a more vivid picture of how the game looked in its days before they had, like, in it, like say it's pre-checklist days and stuff like that. There is a lot of information on those playtest cards, and I haven't seen every single one of them because it is a large box of playtest cards. It's crazy how many playtest cards there are for that game. And so whether, I'm not saying there's going to be something specific to the crime lab, not saying that at all, but I'm saying there is going to be a lot of information coming about that's going to show a lot more how the game looked before we got the, you know, commercially released cards. So no promises. I won't promise anything on FOCL.
Nope. Steven said there was going to be something.
There will be questions asked about it. It will come up in the interview, but I'm not promising any revelations on that front, because I don't honestly know the answers, but I just know that I think it's a last shot in the dark to maybe get some answers on it. Probably, maybe, I don't know, but we'll see what the interview reveals.
I've been patient enough.
I think at least context clues tell us it was meant to be a game space akin to the Bureau or Field or whatever. So
that's about all I could get from it.
Yeah. So, which is how it's currently laid out in your proposal, David. So I think at least that part of it is faithful to the original design. But.
And I suspect the evidence having special and those keywords on it may have had something to do with it. To which I would give a wag of the finger to their editing team for leaving all those things in there.
Yeah, and so what that is kind of what I'm maybe hoping on specifically, if we're going to see some playtest cards that go by, because I can already tell you there are playtest cards in there that go by different suit names.
Sure.
The 9 suits that exist now, there are playtest cards that have different suit names in there. I've seen them. Not specific, not the ones that I've seen are going to cast light on the Field Office Crime Lab specifically, but yes, there are some other suits I've already seen. So I can promise you that.
Not a surprise.
No.
What?
I said that doesn't surprise me. That there was a lot more stuff that they just had to cut for whatever reason.
Or that it just wasn't really refined until they, really, thought long and hard about it, and till we got the 9 suits that you see now. But it's interesting that we're definitely going to see an evolution. I don't know how many of those playtest cards we're actually going to get to see, because there are so many, and man, it's like I don't
Scan
know.
them all.
I would love that. If there was a way for me to get my hands on to scan them, I would go through the trouble so that everyone can see them. I want that to be possible, because there are so many, and I think that this is like a holy grail for anyone who's really wanting to see what the earliest iterations of the game look like.
It'd be kind of cool to maybe after everything. Well, I say after everything's revealed, but it seems like it's every month something new pops up. But to put a timeline together and kind of see the evolution of it. Back in 1993 when this first came up, there were 13 suits and they all did this and that, and then they dropped this, or then they combined these two, and up until 97 when Scully was getting ready to go out, or whatever year Scully was out. I might have that wrong, but
you can even do that for like individual cards and trace how it evolved over time into the final form.
I'm already imagining the cards on a wall and the yarn going between all the text.
Like Charlie from It's Always Sunny.
Right, exactly.
How there's I'll tell you, I'll give, not giving away anything, but I will say, the keyword creature that appears on the adversary cards?
Yeah.
There's an origin for that.
Well, I'd like to know what it means.
I'm not saying it now, but there will be an origin for that.
I figure in their head, and the master and pawn thing too.
I haven't seen any. Just from what I've seen, I don't know about those two, but I do know where the creature thing evolved from.
Master and pawn, doesn't that have something to do with the vampire?
There's
it's on other stuff.
Yeah, it's on several. But
like government pawn. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, right. There's government masters. And there's primordial pawns. There's pawn and master are kind of like the dual opposites. Kind of like well, they're kind of like the opposite of, like, how you have standard and special for equipment. They're kind of the same. They kind of work in that same respect. You have one or the other, I guess.
creature has always seemed weird to me on some of those cards, like the red-haired man, for instance. Like creature does not make any sense. It does make sense for, I don't know, like the Manitou Stalks its prey, for instance, or maybe the Deadly Blur. But Operation Falcon Blue Beret, this doesn't make any sense to have creature on that.
Well, the thing I like about it, and the thing I don't like about it, is that it creates some limitations for like those witnesses that are able to negate adversaries. Like, for instance, Dr. Blockhead can negate an evolutionary creature. He cannot negate an evolutionary pawn, which is the psychotic attack.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
that's cool. And like for manners, for instance, I can't get manners to go in and get I can't get manners to negate every single adversary that comes up, because there's some adversaries that have those combinations of, like government master. He can't do anything about a government master, but he can get a witness to negate a government pawn. So
I was hoping you would tell me what the combinations are.
Well, yeah. So yeah, there's some. Yeah, but that's cool that manners isn't a be all end all for every adversary that gets played. I like that you guys can throw some stuff at me and it's like, well, manners, I can't turn to you for this. I gotta find some other way out of this jam. Otherwise, yeah, it would be too easy and yeah, not nearly as fun. So yeah, find the right adversaries to play, then yeah, manners can be pretty weak.
But you can always count on you having an X in your hand, or
if I have a call for help in my, there you go, just like what you did tonight, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, X isn't always going to be in my hand, but no, if I get call for help, then something that I can go in and get X if I need to. So yeah, that's what's to be said about having smaller decks, because when those the greater likelihood you're going to have those cards in your hand when you need them. But yeah, I realize that, but at the same time, because I use a lot of cards that allow me to get into the deck, I include a lot to cover my bases.
Like when you build your deck, you always want to have 2 Langleys, 2 Forikis, for instance, or 2 Great Barons. I just could not. I tried saying to myself, okay, just put one of each in your deck, and so that way the deck will be smaller. But somehow I just can't get myself to do it. Like I'm saying, I'm always going to need at least 1 Langley, 1 Foriki, and sometimes during some of our games, I had 2 Forikis, and they were at the bottom of the deck, and I just did not use them at all. So it would not have made a difference if I had 1 or 2, but we just like to have that safety net in place.
And if you do have like Dax is No One So Paranoid, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you ever include those in there?
No. I made my own. I recreated the No One So Paranoid, the official one. So I usually use 1 in the deck.
Okay, just 1. Okay.
Yeah. And as I was saying, since I now have at least 1 copy of every card, I think at some point I'm going to just have to say, okay, maybe for Christmas or something, like I'm just going to buy that last remaining card just to officially have every single card. So I might have to buy that No One So Paranoid
at some point. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, I'm happy with the one that I have. It's a good replacement, but in my mind, I know it's not the official one.
But
Guillaume, we will all keep an eye on eBay for you.
Because no kidding. I mean, you guys recall, I found one amongst a box of other cards for $70, and so I was like, yeah, that just one thing that just happened up on eBay. So just Nathan, you're good about keeping your eye on eBay.
What is usually frustrating is the import taxes. That's what is killing me, in addition to shipping costs. Like for instance, for my category 1 order, I think it was maybe $30 and maybe 15 shipping. So, and I had to pay 12 euros import taxes. So like a third of the amount of the order I had to pay that. So if I order the No One So Paranoid, let's say it's, I don't know, 150 or 200, I would have to pay, I don't know how much more when I import that. So that's crazy. A few years ago, it did not used to be that way. I used to order from Amazon.com all the time, but maybe 3 or 4 years ago, it started with those import taxes, and it's really crazy. And the thing is, you cannot find good stuff on eBay on Europe. Well, you can find some things, but not a lot. As I was saying to David, I recently purchased a few Buffy CCG cards, and I did find some good deals here, but the best deals are in the United States, and they have full unopened boxes full of booster cards for, well, not for, they don't cost a lot, but if you factor in the shipping and the import taxes, that's just too much.
You're basically doubling the price, right? Yeah.
Dax needs to bring an empty suitcase with him when he comes to the office. We can give him a bunch of stuff to take back with him for you.
Yeah, what does it cost for, like, say, Dax to send something from the UK to where you are, Guillaume?
Well, I'm not sure. Like, the last time Dax sent me something, it was the 3 Gen Con cards, and I think it was maybe £5, but I remember I had to pay 10 euros when the mailman delivered it to me. So even though on the envelope it said like there was no commercial value, I still had to pay. I don't know why, but even since now the UK is not part of the European Union anymore, so I have to pay taxes for things coming from the UK as well. Although I did order one of my Truth Is Out There card was from eBay and from the UK, and I did not have to pay anything for that. But it was only like, I don't know, £2 for the card, so maybe that's why.
And how much did you have to pay when on your end when I got when the cards that I sent you got to
you? Nothing.
I don't get it.
No, I don't get it either.
It's very selective. I know we said on the forum when it asked like how many cards are in there, and I was like, because I even asked, should I lie and say there's fewer cards than what? No, it's like, okay, there's 115 in there. So I figured you were gonna have to shell out, like, because Joost had to do that when stuff got sent to him. When I sent him stuff previously, he had to go and when it actually got to him, he had to actually go and pay I think it was like £11 more or something. I was like on top of the shipping that it already cost to get it out there. So I was like, why? So I don't know. It wasn't even nearly.
I'm going to lose out on a counterintelligence measures on that whole deal.
Yeah, got me on that. So yeah, so I know I did look I did look when I got home that day, and I do have a couple of the cards on that list I can send if that thing doesn't arrive by like early June. But yeah, there's some irreplaceable ones as of this point that we're gonna have a hard time finding replacements to send.
And do you guys have to pay import tax? Like, for instance, if Dax sends you something, do you have to pay import taxes as well?
No.
So yeah, because if you want to send somebody a gift, for instance, like you don't want them to have to pay import taxes on whatever you sent them.
Yeah,
you can declare it as a gift, though. I mean,
I think it's that's what we did. That maybe that's why you didn't have to pay.
Yeah,
it got to you. I think that's what. Yeah, okay. I just wish I understood shipping a little bit better. Then I do it more often.
Well, Europe is a headache to ship to from the U.S. I mean, the customs form is not intuitive, and then you got to like have the category, whatever category it fits in, or you mark it as a gift. So one of those two. But anyway, yeah.
And I'm just about to send another 70 cards to the UK, probably Monday, to our friend Hyper G in Discord. So hopefully he doesn't have to pay a whole lot when it gets to his end.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just crazy. It's just the amount of shipping just to get something over there, like, grossly outweighs the value of what's inside the package. And that's just it's brutal. Yeah, I'm just glad. I'm glad we haven't had more things. As much stuff as that all of us collectively have sent over. I think it's actually probably a wonder that miracle that we haven't had more stuff get lost before this most recent one, Nathan. Although David, you did sort of well, it wasn't lost, right? The thing that Mike sent you, which was really just one stayed over. It wasn't lost, was it? It just went right back. How did that play out?
Well, there was one where it got damaged and sent back to him.
Okay.
And then another one where it went you watch the tracking and it's like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? It's just, it went through all these different hubs all around the place. And, you think it's a 4-hour drive between us, but it took like over a week to finally make it here. And he was worried it was just lost. And I was like, yeah.
I had this was an interesting one where Dax sent me an envelope of cards, and then the following week he sent out another envelope of cards. But the second one that he had sent out a week later is the one that actually arrived first. And he used the same no tracking for either. He used the same method of sending it out. So it was like,
I think there are some days where maybe some packages are stuck in customs, and sometimes you just go right through. So maybe the first one was stuck waiting to be checked, and the second one just went right through.
Yeah.
They do. They don't check everything. Obviously, they just it's random.
It's random
screens whether it gets diverted in there or not. So.
Yeah. And over here we usually have strikes going on, a lot of the time. So if there is one period of the month where there is a strike at customs, that you will have some delays. So, although we haven't had a strike in a while, so maybe that's coming, I guess, with the summer vacation coming. Usually that's when strikes happen. So.
So, as I know we're still a week out from next Saturday, but does anyone have any initial thoughts on what they want to do or who's not available next Saturday or who is available? Any preliminary declarations of who wants to play and whatnot?
I've got a game of Star Trek in the morning, but
Saturday morning, next Saturday
morning ish. But I could probably get some together if someone wants to play.
Well, it is for Nathan and actually no, for all four of us, because Guillaume, you have a holiday too on that Monday. So yes. I mean, is everyone off on Monday?
Yeah.
So really, we could do like a double, like 2 nights. We could do like one, like Saturday and Sunday. We can have a couple of live events going on. So that way everyone should pretty much get a chance to play. So it's almost more of like a pick your weekend date that you play. Do you want to do Saturday night? Do you want to do Sunday night? And whatever's most available to your schedule. But I could easily see all of us getting a chance to play in the Saturday, Sunday night if you guys are down for that.
Yeah, I think I'd like, after playing with the same cards for the last 3 weeks, maybe I'd be down to do something with the set rules to begin. Like we did the trained agent, or maybe only commons and uncommons, or maybe not including this or that. Maybe something to change things up a little bit. I don't know. Have you, David and Nathan, have you had the chance to? I don't know if it was recorded though, to watch the Cube game that Alistair and Joost played.
Not yet.
It was really fun.
I'm going to, because I like the idea.
Yeah, I'll be down to play that with that mechanic if someone was interested, because it doesn't require you to spend time preparing your deck, and it's also only commons and commons, I think. So it's nice. Like, for instance, if you manage to play an adversary, you know that you're not going to be X'd.
Right. True.
I'd like to see another dream card, Dax's dream card.
There's that.
Episode.
We could also do like a pick your opponent, or not pick your opponent's agents, but have other people pick our agents. That was fun. I want to do that again, but this time I don't want to know what my opponent's team is going to be. So if we can work that out.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun. I mean, you could do that if you can all play. Maybe you can say, okay, I'm choosing, I don't know, David's team, and Nathan is choosing your team X, and then we can decide who plays against who.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, I like that too. Does everyone know for sure? Like, does everyone know for sure they're going to be available to play one of the 2 nights next week?
Yes, I'm available either Saturday or Sunday night. I'm available.
Me too. One of the 2 nights.
I'm sure I can swing one of the 2. Yeah,
I'm sure I can do one of the 2.
Okay, so I'm trying to think the way we should the first thing, if we want to do that, then the first thing I think we need to do is try to figure out who's going to be playing what night, because obviously who's available to play what night, that's going to dictate your opponent. And so if we know that, then obviously the 2 remaining people who aren't playing, like the 2 people who aren't playing Saturday night, are the 2 that are going to pick the agents for the Saturday night team, and vice versa. So
I can have an answer probably Monday.
Monday?
Yeah.
Okay. I can already say, like, I could go either day. I'm fine if we're going to do this time, the 10 o'clock time slot for, 10 o'clock CST, that is.
Yeah.
I can do either or. So what I'll do is, if one of you is stuck on one particular night, then I will just, I could just take the other night,
Yeah, me too. I'm fine either night, so.
Okay. So that helps. So then, if David, for instance, it's like it has to be Saturday night, then yeah. So let's do that. So Nathan, you'll know Monday, and then David.
I can take either one. So
Okay.
Nathan, you're the tiebreaker.
Okay.
All right, so we'll do that for Monday. But I got a sense, like, if Nathan, if you give us your answer on Monday, then I think that point we can pick our opponent. Yeah. And then at that point, we'll just immediately decide who's going to choose whose agents, and then
should still give plenty of time to deck build and whatnot.
It should. Yeah, I think as long as we know by, like, say Wednesday or something, I think, I think 3 days is a decent amount of time because I'm pretty sure we're gonna see some very crafty combination of agents going on. So
the season Premier Truth is out there, Mold 1013 and Scully set.
I was gonna say leave out the expansions, I was gonna say leave out the fan made ones, but what do you guys say?
Well, you're saying commercially released promos and Scully, right, Guillaume?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. Scully agents then, huh?
You bet. Detective Chow.
I'm already playing with him tomorrow night, so yeah.
I can already say that, Steven, if I'm the one who has to pick your team, then Detective Manos is not going to be part of it.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's got to be a challenge, right? It's got to.
Yeah, this is the fun of it.
Yeah, that is the fun of it. I know we said.
Should you have a minimum, like, say the team has to have at least X amount of res, or X, like?
We did that last time. They have to have a minimum of 5 res.
Yeah, that sounds good.
They have to be. The total cost has to be 20, no less than 20 RP for the total agents, and 5 res is the minimum. So yeah. No giving me all agents with 0 res here.
Yeah. Why don't you try winning with that, Steven?
Yeah.
I'm sure
there's a challenge right there, but yeah, I think that's a losing. I don't like that's a headache game right there. I don't know. So yeah, I think those are the only criteria we applied last time, and I don't think we need to apply anything.
And
unless you guys can think of anything else.
Maybe, well, not for the agents, but maybe should we set a limit for the deck? That would be a challenge. Say maybe 85 cards max, or
for Scully set.
Yeah, or maybe not over 90, or not more than 100.
Definitely not more than 100. I could go for definitely not more than 100 for sure if we're using Scully set cards. Yeah, easy. 90 is okay. I'd say not. I wouldn't want to impose more like less than that
I
for
think
Scully's set.
to make it more of a challenge. Maybe you say, okay, 90
we'll do
cards max per deck.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Let's
90's fine.
also limit ourselves to limit ourselves, and that could be fun. Okay.
I'm gonna try to practice that since I'm not I don't know what kind of agents I'm gonna get stuck with for that next week, but yeah, I'm gonna see if I can try to do that with this deck I'm doing for tomorrow and see what happens. If I can get it to 90, yeah, with Scully set cards. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that flies. So it'll be fun. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll see. Everyone's going to get a chance to work with some agents probably that they have either not used before or have maybe only used once and never again.
That's the fun of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right. So hopefully I'll see some of you guys. I'm going to go to bed now, but I'm going to see some of you guys tomorrow night for my game with Jonathan.
I'll be there.
All right. Yeah. Well, my judge, David. Yes. I hope you will be there. Excellent. All right. Now get some sleep in the meantime.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thank you very much.
You fellas.
See you guys later.
Good night.
Good night.